Here we go.
Here we go.
Air Beer Josh. Hey.
Hey.
I have new tech.
I got no new tech. I don't.
Well, you get your lavalier, but I have this mixing board. I'll post the behind the scenes stuff on our social medias. But I have lots of buttons to play with. For example.
You know what's funny is you're wearing the monitors, so I have no idea what you're doing.
You can't hear what I just
can't hear what you just did.
Hey, babe, tell us a funny joke. Real quick.
Why did the dog walk into the bar?
Why?
Because he had a
bone to pick.
That's not a joke. I heard a dad joke today. Oh, wait a second. Wait, hold on. Let me rewind and tell a joke.
Do it.
Ready? Why do dinosaurs make bad pets?
Because they have large poops.
Because they're all dead. Is that good? Is that good? I heard that.
That is very dark.
It was a good dad joke. I thought it was a good dad joke.
Okay, now I'm going to edit all that stuff out for our actual show.
Damn. We'll just comedy gold.
We'll just jump right on into it. But thank you for joining us. Please feel free to leave comments on your funny jokes.
Yeah, if you have good jokes for me to tell, especially dad jokes, please send them to me. They make me laugh.
Or mom jokes, or they them jokes, parenting jokes. Caregiver jokes.
I feel like dad jokes. Yes, but dad jokes is a genre that people understand.
I know.
Stop trying to.
They're not my dad jokes.
Dark dad jokes.
Apparently.
Yeah, but no.
Which actually is kind of fitting to what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So let's dive into it. Welcome back to Wit and Reason with Alex and Dr. Alexis. Tonight we're leaning into error. We're gonna have to do that again.
Okay.
You're listening to Wit and Reason with Alex and Dr. Alexis. Fear is universal, but what we fear and how we respond to it tells us a lot about who we are. Some fears are rooted in biology, others in culture, and sometimes in experiences that don't fit neatly into any explanation.
In this episode, we're opening the door to the strange and the unexplainable. We'll explore how fear sharpens our senses, how uncertainty can twist our memory, and why stories of paranormal carry such weight across generations. You'll hear firsthand accounts from creators who lived through chilling encounters, and together we'll examine not just what happened, but how fear shapes the human experience.
Take two. I need to do it too because I want video of me not wearing these headphones saying our intro as well. And you studied over that word.
All right, cool. I studied over this word. Here, let me help you with this thing that it did a repeat.
You're watching the live stream recording of our DC radio show.
We screw up live.
And then we'll cut all this out and then clean it up for DC
and
radio.
And like we are impeccable and
excellent.
fallible, wonderful.
I appreciate that it's pre-recorded. I mean, there's more work because it's pre-recorded versus live. You just fuck it. And hope for the best.
And you didn't even press the button to bleep yourself out. There's a censor button.
There is.
There is.
I'm not even gonna mess with it. I'm gonna let our producers deal with that because I'm not gonna try to catch it at all.
Fine. As
evidenced by what I just did. Okay, you ready?
Fair.
Take two?
Yeah.
All right. And I forgot to breathe. Okay.
All right. Take four.
Oh my god.
Take five.
Just shush. This is my part. You're listening to Wit and Reason with Alex and Dr. Alexis. Fear is universal, but what we fear. I should have practiced this more. Take 17. You're listening to Wit and Reason with Alex and Dr. Alexis. Fear is universal, but what we fear and how we respond to it tells us a lot about who we are. Some fears are rooted in biology, others in culture, and sometimes in experiences that don't fit neatly into any explanation.
In this episode, we're opening the door to the strange and the unexplainable. We'll explore how fear sharpens our senses, how uncertainty can twist memory, and why stories of the paranormal carry such weight across generations. You'll hear firsthand accounts from creators who've lived through chilling encounters, and together we'll examine not just what happened, but how fear shapes the human experience.
First time we're ever doing this live.
Wit and Reason with Alex and Dr. Alexis, where real talk meets real growth, diving deep into relationships and breakthroughs, live insights, expert advice, and your voice in the mix. Let's build better lives together.
So we're diving into fear today.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready for this stuff.
Would you say that this is one of your favorite areas
I love talking
of
about
psychology and sociology?
I love talking about perception, fear, all sorts of versions of like realities, like people's experiences. I love to engage with. It's a lot of fun.
And for those of you who don't know Alex personally, you're big into like horror and intense, really intense. Would you even call it like entertainment at that point?
Yes.
Film and shows.
So to be fair, I love all film, television, media. I love all of the things ever that come to like any genre of suspense, thriller, horror, mystery, all sorts of versions of like the occult, serial killing type of stuff as well. I love all of those things. I love all of those things because they're creative and they have no bounds.
Yeah.
There is zero bounds when it comes to this stuff. You get to
That's
read wonderful
That's
things.
what really concerns me. Like when I see something really fucked up, I'm like, who wrote this?
Yeah.
And are you okay?
And how people like write these various things, I find very fascinating. Like one of my amazing book called The Collector, right? Like kind of the origin, kind of one of those things where they have it all over regarding people's like you find them in serial killers' homes. That book, you know, that type of thing.
What do you find in serial killers' homes?
This particular book.
Oh,
yeah, because it's kind of like creepy and
how old
weird.
Is this book?
Old enough, but like I mean, it's really good. It's a really good. It starts with the person's perception, the victim's perception of the reality, and then it goes through the victim, and it goes through the eyes of the killer.
Okay,
and it switches at some point. It's bizarre.
This is a fiction.
Yeah,
and so is that like an actual fact that the serial killers who've existed
kind of like how they talk about how
have
like,
that book
kind of how they talk about like
their
assassins have like To Kill a Mockingbird on their shelves, like or no, not To Kill Catcher in the Rye on their shelves. It's there's another conspiracy theory.
And you say it's really good.
It's really good.
You say two statements at the same time. All serial, like a lot of serial killers own this book and seem to favor it, and it's really good.
It's really good.
What makes it really good? Just
it's well written. It's creative. It's done. It does something that people do that isn't normally done.
So we're going to be diving into fear, both from like entertainment perspectives.
Yes.
We'll touch very lightly on that, and then also really get into like the unexplained.
Yeah.
The real life experiences, or so people say that these are real life experiences, and how our brain and body like try to make sense of that, how that impacts us emotionally, psychologically, physiologically, and dive into some videos.
Well, yeah, and I mean, can I say how I first got started in this thing?
Yeah.
Like how I really liked this stuff. Well, okay, I first kind of got into the idea of fear and psychology when it came to working with patients who suffered from schizophrenia.
Okay.
A lot of paranoid delusions, but visual hallucinations were fairly fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Because how does your brain reconcile something that isn't there?
Yeah.
All right. How does it come to be? Does it happen over time? Does it happen like little bits and pieces? And there was a couple of films that kind of went through the experience of a schizophrenic person, a person who had schizophrenia. And one being like, there's a film called Clean Shaven, really disturbing, really sad, really kind of scary and on edge. And he had an auditory hallucination that ran through the whole thing.
Oh.
Ran through the whole thing. and it was just this static, and you could hear it through the whole film. And I mean, you got on edge the whole film. And as it went on, it kind of turned up in volume a little bit and started actually becoming worse and worse as far as like it actually started having voices. It had other things there. Like he had this hallucination that escalated over time.
Yeah.
And so when I was talking to a lot of patients, their visual hallucinations had escalated over time. Their auditory hallucinations had escalated over time.
Okay.
And so then I thought about, how does your brain attenuate to that level of fear?
Yeah.
And so we talked a lot about that. And so I kind of got into those things. And there's a lot of ways in which looking at how do you perceive the world, the unexplainable, is really kind of cool.
And I think that's a lot of people's fear, like go-to fear or meta fear, is that if they experience something that's unexplainable, or even if they come to the conclusion that this is like paranormal or extraterrestrial or whatever, that people's automatic conclusions are going to be like, oh, well, you're clearly hallucinating and you should go get treatment for psychosis.
Well, and one of my favorite, there was a patient
Mhm.
in the hospital that was there for what they considered a delusional disorder of some sort.
Mhm.
And it came to be that somebody was actually messing with him.
See?
Like in the real world, was constantly messing with him and doing things in the house and screwing with him
Oh my
to
gosh.
try and show that they were trying to put him as a scapegoat, that he was actually insane.
That is actual gaslighting.
And it got worse. I mean, like even like burn marks and things like that.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
and that was real.
Yeah.
And nobody believed him.
Yeah.
And you sat around and picked apart the story, and the story held. And you're like, this doesn't usually happen where the story holds.
Right.
And
so just because you're out there living your life and then you experience something unusual or unexplained doesn't automatically mean that you're experiencing like a psychotic break.
Yeah.
Or that what you're experiencing is a hallucination, auditory, visual, olfactory, tactile. I mean,
and how often have you kind of maybe smelled something that may not have been around, like maybe like
a perfume,
or something that was lingering around,
or
how often had you looked in the dark and thought you saw something moving, and it may have been something moving, it may not, or you don't know.
I just got chills.
I know, right? We do this all the time, and that has a lot to do with fear and other random synapses, but our brains are cool that way.
We're gonna dive into all of it, and even more of our experiences, I think, moving forward as well. What got me into fear and psychology, or through professionally, not even fear, just like unexplained experiences or phenomenon, actually started early on, when I was working as a children's therapist. And I had this case where this kid was brought in, man, and they were already going to start pumping this kid up with antipsychotics. They were going to jump to the conclusion that based on what this kid is saying that they're experiencing, that this kid is hallucinating.
Okay.
The kid was saying, young kid, like this year's old.
This year's old, so 6.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, that's like pretty right on the nose.
Yeah. I'm good at your height differential. Yeah.
So the kid had been reporting that they've been seeing a ghost, like some man that kept on like walking down the hall.
Okay.
And then coming to their bedroom, and they would tell their parent about this, and the parent, was religious and said like, oh, that's a ghost or that's a spirit, and you need to pray and this is what you do. But it kept getting worse and worse, and the kid wasn't able to sleep and was freaking out and yelling and crying every single night. And so they eventually brought them in for therapy. And then on my intake, it's like they're already getting ready to just pass this kid on to psychiatric care for medication. And the process is, I was just supposed to do the intake. But while sitting with this kid and learning more about them and their experiences, the kid had experienced really severe trauma. childhood trauma.
Yeah.
That was very similar to what they were describing as like ghosts.
Yeah.
And as we were working through it, we come to find that this kid is having what we call in our profession as flashbacks.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
But the kid and then the mom,
Yeah.
or parent, they didn't have the language to like describe, to even connect it to trauma, or to describe it as like this kid's experiencing flashbacks.
Yeah.
It just felt so real to the kid.
Yeah, of course.
And so through their cultural lens, they're describing this as like this kid is seeing ghosts. So that was my phone. This kid is seeing ghosts. And then
That wasn't a ghost.
no. And then through the almost failures of the healthcare system, they were going to write it off as hallucinations. This young kid, which you do not diagnose children with psychosis, and they're ready just to put a Band-Aid on it and pump them through the system, and then have this label tied to them for forever. I got in there and advocated for this kid and said, like, no, this kid needs trauma treatment.
Yeah.
And so I stopped all that from happening. So that in that moment, that was mostly important to me because we need to advocate for accurate assessments and understanding, especially children, and diagnosis.
Yeah.
In order to have an informed, appropriate treatment. Because, like, God forbid, like, you send a kid down this path of, like, you're schizophrenic. It's like, no, dude. Just had a horrific trauma and experiencing flashbacks on the regular.
Thank you for sharing that story. You've never told me that story. That's brand new to me as well.
I thought I have.
No, but that's so cool.
But that's why I get so, like, annoyed when people misdiagnose, because it's so
dismissive.
Oh, there's so many things wrong. It's
judgmental.
so dangerous. It's so okay. So before we dive more into fear and the unexplained and making sense of it, we want to hear from you all. What's the most unexplainable, scary, or confusing experience you've had that you still can't shake? I have those stories as well.
So all of you feel free to DM us or email us at Wit and Reason, and we would love to hear your stories.
Yes. For now, you can go ahead and just put it in the comments.
Yes.
As we always request that you do. Let us know, engage with us, share with us. We are live to hear what your thoughts are, what your experiences are. If you're down to just leave us a little comment and tell us what's the most unexplainable, scary, or confusing experience you've had that you still can't shake.
Yeah. All right. So give us all.
And I'm thinking in future shows, we'll share ours. I have my list of experiences in my head. You have one that we shared together in New Orleans. True. That I'd like to tell everyone.
True. Okay.
Do you have any others outside of that?
I got some things that I could talk about.
Yeah.
Some things in the world and life that I could tell you about. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. No pressure now.
No pressure. All right.
But for those of you who are, especially if you're watching or you're listening to us live, leave it in the comments. If you're catching us through DC Radio or via podcast, you could leave a comment in our wherever you find your podcast, or on witandreason.com/DC Radio. You can find our show there and then leave us a comment there as well.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Right.
So keep that in mind. We want to hear from you as well. Do you need to cough? I can mute you. Oh, this is excellent. Go ahead, cough. Oh, wait, and then how do I like
there
this?
You go.
And like this?
Nope.
There. Like this.
See,
okay.
like that. Green is gold.
Got to cut that out as well.
Sorry.
All right. So as mental health professionals and even as wellness designers, because we go into homes and spaces and curate them to make sure that they're safe and well for the people who are living or existing in those spaces. Our role isn't to investigate or to prove what happened. We believe you. Our goal is to help you process the experience in ways that support your psychological, physical, and cultural safety. That means giving you tools to calm your body when fear spikes, practices to protect your space and environment, and language that validates your perspective without shame.
We don't reduce your experience to a glitch or dismiss it as all in your head. Instead, we recognize that fear, whether it's caused by something explainable or unexplainable, can leave lasting imprints on memory, sleep, and well-being. By grounding, journaling, and connecting with supportive communities, you can reclaim a sense of agency. And if the experience continues to unsettle you, our work is about creating safety plans, not proving or disproving the paranormal.
I love
Or-
that about us.
I do too.
Because at the heart of it, unexplained experiences show us how powerful the human mind and environment are. Our goal is to help you live with curiosity, resilience, and respect for the unknown without letting fear overwhelm your daily life. Sounds good to you?
I love it. I love it.
So we talked a bit about like our interests or restrictions with fear. I can't watch the
Yeah.
shows that Alex watches.
I watch a lot of stuff.
I've been into Dexter recently,
Yeah,
and that's
you've been
pretty
dabbling.
gory for
Yeah.
me, but that's more because there's a lot of character development there that I find interesting.
Yeah, fascinating stuff.
And it
Really
goes
well
a little
written.
bit into his psyche, but he's like, a lovable character, I suppose.
You would
But
say
there's some
that.
really intense ones where I'm like, no, I don't want to use my free time. I don't find this entertaining
That is fair.
to go into that state of mind of things
not-
that are gonna horrify me.
You're not watching like Human Centipede in between like
Yeah, I'm just even imagining like a regular centipede. Like
in between
crosses
sessions
me
you don't
out.
stream, the Terrifier.
I don't even
No,
know. I don't
yeah,
even know
exactly.
what that is.
For those out there who've seen that, yeah.
So if we're talking about like the science of fear, why would you say that some people chase fear, like in horror films, haunted houses? What's your take on that?
I mean, some of the most straightforward answer
Yeah.
is there are plenty of dopamine and endorphins you get from watching something that thrills you, gets you a little bit more excited, and gets you
Yeah.
and like gives you that jump scare.
Yeah.
You get locked in, but that a lot of it has to do with like kind of the anticipation.
Yeah.
Sometimes the reward, whatever that looks like, whether it's like they get away or depending on who you like.
It's a bit of an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Like I won't do super intense, gory films or horror.
Yeah.
'Cause I just don't want those images in my head. But I could do something light, and I like Not Scary Farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some
but-
haunted houses.
yeah, but that's even more adrenaline spiking. I mean,
Because
like,
it's IRL.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to. I don't know if I do that anymore today.
And I think people love the unexplainable or kind of like trying to pathologize something too. So like you look at like characters like, okay, why did they do what they were doing? Or what's the reason behind it? What's the ultimate reason why Freddy Krueger became the Nightmare on Elm Street? And what does that mean? And like they're fascinated by a really dark, deep story. I mean, hence all of the true crime ever, right? People love true crime because they want to know why.
I don't get.
They want to know
true
why.
crime.
They want to know why. So like, and if it resolves and what happens with it. And so I feel like people delve into these stories because not only are they dark and creepy and eerie, but there's also like a lot of storytelling in it that people get fascinated by.
That's true. I feel when it comes to like true crime stuff, there's some other pieces to it. People seem to value the or believe that they're able to gain this kind of like preparedness to prevent some kind of crime happening to them.
Yeah.
So that's one piece. And then the other piece, it kind of gives people a downward comparison so they feel better. Like, oh, well, life's whatever for me, but at least we're alive.
At least I'm alive.
Like,
yeah.
no one's been murdered.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
so there's like those two components when it comes to like the true crime stuff that I find people
like
can gain from that.
Yeah. The anticipatory anxiety where they go, oh, if something happened to me, I would do this, I would do that, I would do this thing, I would know by this. Here's what I'm going to look out for.
Like taking notes while like
as if they're
watching
prepping.
those shows.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
And
That's a really good point.
I say all this like I can't get into true crime and I don't understand it as a form of entertainment, even like CSI stuff like that. I say this while also knowing that I like specialized in forensic psychology.
Yeah.
Where actual real like true crimes that were very fresh.
Yeah.
Were part of my career path for a bit there.
Yeah.
where I was working, and you too.
Yeah.
One-on-one in front of someone, sometimes alone in a room together, in locked facilities with people who have done really horrific things
Yeah.
to other people.
Yeah.
And so there was enough intrigue in my mind to say, like, an ability to say, like, I could face this
Yeah.
head on, and I could study it, I could prepare, I could become specialized in this very dark area of psychology, and I
Yeah.
could work at it and work with it. And there was the of course, the motivational factor of, like, and I could try to be part of the recovery process
Yeah.
and prevention of future crimes,
Yes.
you
Yes,
know,
definitely.
part of the rehabilitation
Yeah, I
process
definitely get
and
that part.
therapy.
I mean, a decade of working in the hospital, I would say I used to work at Arkham, and people usually get that shorthand, and that's, yeah, you know.
So I get the intellectual stimulation from it, but
Mhm.
my boundary is at, like, this is not entertaining to me.
That's fair. I mean,
It's
it's not for everybody.
stimulating, it's intellectually stimulating and interesting, uh, but
Well, see,
but
but here's the thing. You like watching, you'll watch paranormal, you'll watch ghost things,
Yeah.
you'll watch anything regarding, like, the undead of some sort. You'll watch zombie stuff.
Yeah.
You just don't
Sure.
like sadistic
Oh.
you don't like the sadistic killing type of slasher film.
Yeah.
And so you do enjoy horror. It's just there's
That's
a
true.
subset of it's a huge genre.
Yeah.
It's a huge genre.
That's true.
And that's okay. You don't have to like you don't have to like slasher films. You don't have to like, I mean, some of them are just like torture and things like you get into like Saw, like
Nah. American Horror Story could not get through very much
could
of
be
that
creepy
at all.
enough that you can't do it. But then, when it comes to watching something about ghosts, you're like all in.
Or UFOs, or what do
Or
we call them now?
aliens.
UAPs.
Yeah. Or any type of
or cryptics and stuff. And so when we talk about, like, that genre of
Yeah.
fear, where it's more kind of like cultural or
there are several other cultural.
mystical,
Yeah.
the part that I experience from that you all may be relating to as well, is that when we watch that kind of stuff, or when we think we've experienced that kind of stuff, it's exciting in a different way. It's exciting in there's more to life than what is our current state of affairs.
Well, then what we think is real.
Yeah.
Like folklore is wonderful that way. Folklore tells a story. It gives explanation. People love kind of weaving in both the scary and the mystical and the wonderful and the magical. And there's a lot of wonderful stories from every single group of people
Yeah.
that go into something magical. They all have versions of
It's a little more
something
meaning making.
evil. They
of
have
our
versions of something evil.
existence.
They have something versions of good. And like it's interesting that we tell these tales, evil and good, and all these dynamics in every culture.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wonderful. And there's great stories. Like
Even though some of the creatures are, like, horrible. Like, it would be
yeah,
horrible if these creatures were among us.
yeah, yeah.
and just eating us for
I mean,
play.
yeah.
In
I mean,
some cases.
you go into like Southeast Asia, you go into some of they have wonderful stories about all sorts of different types
Yeah.
of demons and wonderful creatures. Japan has amazing storytelling there.
Yeah.
Everywhere has amazing storytelling.
Every
And I love
culture.
if you have a story that you in particular like, please send us more.
Yeah,
Because
put it in the comments
I
too.
will go through all of those ever.
Right?
I love all the stories of our indigenous folks and like everything that they have to say about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of misinformation out there in the world because people like to co-opt some of the indigenous folk stuff. But
Yeah, there's a lot of complaints on TikTok right now where, people are trying to to claim that they're experiencing these types of cryptids in the Appalachian Mountains or something like that. And they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just like, what's that called? Were they still people's culturally
appropriating something. Yeah,
yes.
that's fair.
They're now culturally appropriating people's scary stories.
Yeah. Very fair.
as their own. And so there's a lot that actually goes into the science of fear. And there's so much more that we could talk about, including the psychology of the unexplainable, our stress hormones, what our mind does when we're filling in the gaps, how our mind works even like post an experience, like after an
Yeah.
experience, how it processes and kind of reconstructions. There's a lot of research around memory and how faulty that is, especially in trauma.
Yeah, memory is fascinating.
Oh, memory's fucked up.
And then if you get two people seeing something, ooh,
Right.
weird.
You gotta
Excuse
warn me. You
sorry.
gotta warn me.
Sorry,
I got
sorry.
these buttons so I can. Do you
Sorry.
need me to do it?
No, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay. And so there's more to talk about, even our brain and how it works. And we're going to be dedicating more shows to this
Yeah.
coming up. We have more announcements to make, but we'll be diving into more around the science of fear because there's just so much more to talk.
Join us in some
There's so much
scams.
more to talk about.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and hear some experiences from some people online. I don't think we're gonna do like a whole determining if it's therapy or trash. Maybe like the way that they are processing it can be therapeutic or problematic. We could do it that way.
I don't know what these are. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
yeah,
going into this fresh.
I'm
So
going fresh.
get ready for our videos. Buckle up, people. This first one is coming to you from at the number 6, Seanly, Seanly from TikTok. And then let me know when you're ready, and I'll introduce it once you're ready to go. And then don't forget to unmute it.
I think we'll be ready.
Okay, ready?
Go.
All right. So let's start with a light story that blends humor, denial, and just enough panic to make you wonder, when does a spooky moment cross into genuine fear? This creator thought the haunting was creepy enough until friends, aka the comment section, suggested it might not just be a ghost at all. And the real kicker, they've been playing with the Ouija board. So this is where curiosity meets pretty immediate regret.
Okay. Let's see it.
I thought it was only right for me to film just a brief follow-up to my haunting last night. People keep commenting, oh, it's probably somebody squatting in your house. Can we not do that?
Oh.
Hey, so I'm cool with Casper. I can handle that. Can we not put that idea in my head? Now, if you've been following me, you know how I feel about the killer. One of my friends texted me. She's just like, hey, if you need somebody to reach out to have your house inspected, where are we going with this? House inspected? I was like ghosts? She's like, no, people.
Right?
I learned what the word frogging means today. I thought somebody was talking about something else, and that's where my mind went. I would like to point out that I do have an Ouija board, and I'm gonna insert a clip of me using it fairly recently. Death won't separate us, bitch.
This is the clip of him using the Ouija board.
So I'm gonna get rid of that. My coworker said that you have to rip it up in 7 pieces and like burn it and throw holy water on it. I don't have holy water, but I do have fire. So I will be disposing of the Ouija board. Also, I follow a psychic on TikTok, and I believe her. And she said like sage doesn't do anything. I was like,
does.
what can we do? I do feel like this is my moment. I'm finally becoming a medium, even though I've always been a large. I'll keep you guys posted. I don't post shit like this. I don't post ghost videos. Do I love spooky shit? Sure.
Oh, Sean. I really like it. You're irritating.
The laugh. It just so this person heard something in their home and they had posted a video about it while it was happening.
Mhm.
And then of course the comment section blows up with all of these potentials of what this could be.
I like how people actually immediately go into a lot of different camps, right? So do they believe him? Do they not believe him? Do they think, oh no, the practical solution, which is there's somebody in your house, which is also terrifying as well.
Yes.
But like also equally terrifying that ghosts would be a thing. I mean, it just depends. I mean, like, well, and frogging, that's
what is that?
People hiding in your
That's what I
crawl
thought.
spaces and other places, hanging out.
Oh no.
There's a movie on it. I want to say it's called I See You or something like that. It's really creepy. It's a murdery one. It's good.
Oh no. And so what I appreciate about his process is that, you know, he posted about it and you could find his original post on TikTok. And then And since he didn't consider it,
Yeah.
it is incredibly useful that you first rule out actual safety risks.
Yes.
And environmental risks, like that noise might be coming from someone actually inside your home.
Yeah, that you may want to rule that one out
Right?
first.
I don't want you all to like hear something and then jump to some kind of conclusion that will skip safety steps for you.
That's fair.
Right?
I like that.
And that's something I'm going to keep on pushing for at the
Okay.
very least.
All right.
So, yes, we believe you experienced this, and
And check all the boxes first.
let's go check all these other possible reasons for why this might be happening, particularly because we want to make sure that you're freaking safe.
Yeah, that
You know?
makes sense. Okay, I'm with you on this.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so I'm glad that someone or someone's, it seems like multiple people were like, dude, that sounds like there's a person in your wherever attic, basement, walls. Like,
Oof.
go get that looked at for reals before we start jumping to Ouija board conclusions.
Yeah.
And then all of the all of the different opinions that he's getting from
I know,
or that they're
I know.
getting from people about like what to do with the Ouija board and then
Yeah.
what works, what doesn't work, and then it's going to depend on your cultural beliefs, and that's
yeah.
difficult to navigate when there's not like a hard set rule on best practices.
Yeah,
Right.
there is no Ouija board best practices thing. Okay.
I mean, some people think that they have it, but then other people argue, and some people say burn it. Some people say like, oh, don't, that releases stuff. Some people say bury it
like chemicals
in a very specific way.
like chemicals,
like the
it
lead.
shouldn't be burned in
Right,
there.
from
Yeah, it's plastic, so there's some plastic. You don't want to burn it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got another one.
Okay.
Techie nerds out there.
Okay. So from laughter to unease, our next storyteller isn't just dealing with creaky doors. Imagine your smart car telling you someone's standing next to it, but no one's there. This clip dives into how technology collides with the paranormal and why validation from the past owners makes everything 10 times scarier.
I've heard a lot of this, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. This comes from
My house
Needy
is
November.
haunted. My property, my front door just swung wide open. It does that like, excuse you, once a week. And it's completely shut when it happens. And I also have a Tesla that tells me when there's like people around my car. The shit terrifies me. My house property is like haunted. The previous owner said it was, and there's no one standing right there by my car. Or wait, they say he's standing right here, like watching me.
They're showing us the Tesla, and
It's
then
like some medium psychic. Everyone in the neighborhood said she was crazy, but she claims this property is haunted. And I think the first owner of the whole neighborhood, I think he like hung himself, I think possibly on this property, so.
oh boy.
Ooh.
Sorry, I didn't give you that warning.
Yeah.
But that's
Well,
suicide warning.
I think what's interesting about this is like you have multiple things that are happening all over the place. That's always hard. Like when you talk about like going through and like kind of processing safety.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel comfortable when all these weird little things keep happening?
Yeah.
And eventually, does confirmation bias kick in because you're like, oh, of course this is going to happen because these are all related.
Right.
You know what I mean? So something rattles over there, something rattles over here. So you could have like, you know, weird pressure in the house, and then that's what's opening or closing the door.
Mm-hmm.
You could have like terrible wires, which is what's making some weird rattling or noise,
Mm-hmm.
or some AC duct that wasn't installed correctly. But also, if you have all of those all together, that's really creepy and weird.
Yeah. And then the really creepy part now, as technology is advancing, we have cameras all over the place now.
Yeah.
So people are capturing more things like on their Ring cameras. There was a recent footage that the LA News actually picked up in Los Angeles about someone saying that they saw an extraterrestrial being walking outside their front curb from the
in
Ring
Compton.
camera in
You're right, in Compton,
Yeah. And so technology is advancing, so we have more abilities to try to capture things on video footage.
Yeah, we do.
If that kind of stuff is able to be captured via video.
And
And then the Tesla.
yeah.
the Tesla like people sensor thing.
Yeah.
I see a lot of those complaints where there's like on the Tesla
People going
screen,
by.
it's showing a little avatar of a person, and then there's no one there, particularly around cemeteries.
Ooh.
Yes.
Interesting.
That's my first question to any Tesla owners. Well,
And then it goes back
second.
to the same thing, which is confirmation bias. Like, are you looking because you feel like this would be the creepy, weird place where there'd be a ghost, so therefore you're looking for it?
Mhm.
And so you notice more often that it's glitching there versus somewhere else.
And then that's the thing, like, is it glitching?
Is it glitching?
Has Tesla? I mean, Tesla glitches all the time. They've
Sure.
had so many recalls.
Sure.
But it's like, yeah. So is it just happening in cemeteries? No, apparently it's happening at people's homes
Yeah.
while they're driving around. And so, what is that about? I'm not. That's out of my scope of competency.
No,
so
for sure.
I don't know.
For sure. And I think the other thing that I think about is like, now you then are looking for a story about what happened here,
Yeah.
right? And so we get then this person going into finding out that possibly
Mhm.
the original owner had died
Right.
and had died violently.
Right.
And so like that's even more interesting because like how do you kind of
In that space.
yeah.
Yeah. And how do you even process all
And
that?
is it even true? Because they're like it could have
Yeah.
happened.
There's too many like kind of question marks on that one.
Exactly. Well, but that's the thing. Can there always then be a story?
What do you mean?
Like I heard from somebody that this thing, that thing, that something
Mm.
else happened there. Like people trying to justify something or explain something,
Mhm.
explain the unexplainable or that phenomenon.
Right.
We always want to explain the unexplainable with whatever else there is. We've been doing that forever.
Yeah.
So is that part of our human nature?
Oh, for sure.
Well, is that what's happening when we run into these stories?
It seems like it. The big question is like, is that accurate?
Yeah. Well, and even regardless, is it?
And even if it is accurate,
Mhm.
do those two facts equal? Is
It
there any
don't.
kind of correlation or causation there
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of that?
Yeah, exactly.
So lots of question marks there. I with her, I would wonder like, how in the world are you navigating all of this?
Yes.
With all of these different examples of things happening, how are you processing that? How do you feel in your home? Do you feel safe?
Yeah. How
Are there
scared
any
are
kind
you?
of like safety measures that you take?
Mhm.
You know, everyone has different experiences with this. And so now we're moving into a heavier space,
Ooh, heavier.
literally.
Ooh,
Now, this creator is alone
okay.
in a locked, fire damaged building when he discovers small footprints that shouldn't exist.
Ooh.
The mix of grief, innocence, and the unexplained shows why child hauntings strike us as deeper than most other stories.
Okay.
Okay, so my last video wasn't too long, but I pressed a 10-minute icon. But anyways, I'm just getting into work, right? Nobody in this unit. I'm the only one besides the owner with the key. The owner lives all the way in New York. I'm in Oakland, California. So this unit had a fire a few years back. This was a little girl's room. This was a room. And I'm like lost for words right now, I'm sorry, but crashed from bed, I'm getting chills, hair standing up on my arms. But the girl that happened to pass away in this unit was 3 years old. Look at what the fuck I see on the ground. Those are not.
This is a renovated building, and there's like
One into the wall. This is where her bed was at.
drywall
right
dust
here.
everywhere. And there's
I
a-
talked to the owner, I video called him and everything. And I've been here and like little kids laughing. I just thought it was coming from outside. But it's like a little, I felt something go like this in my ear. And yeah, I hear all the activity coming from that closet. And right here, but this really baffled me. Like I said, nobody else has the keys. There's no kids in here. I lock up everything. It's a 4-unit complex. Nobody's in here. Nobody been in here. There's an alarm system. So we got paranormal activity. Look at these little feet. Look at these little cute little feet. If you're in here, ghosts, I mean no harm. I'm Uncle Dave. You call me Uncle Dave. Just fixing up your room for you. Okay? But yeah, I believe in ghosts. So if you have anything paranormal, share it on Ghost. But man,
Oof.
I work in every environment, even if it's haunted, you know. But yeah, you know. But yeah.
I got a
Say
lost for
something.
words.
If you hear
Yeah.
some ghosts or whatever, or types of ghost activity, share it, man. Okay. Peace out. God is love. See you later.
I mean, this person, this was from his TikTok name's actually www.tiktokdave84. I mean, he seems so sincere,
He does. I
right?
don't doubt that that's the experience that he's having at all. I mean, it's just weird.
When I first saw that, the footprints, and if you're listening to us on podcast or DC radio, visit us at youtube.com/@wit and reason, because you could see our videos there. The footprints, though, in that video are like so defined.
Yeah, they're very pronounced.
Yeah. And when I first came across that video, I was like, is this guy fucking with us? I thought like at the end he's gonna be like, gotcha, just kidding.
Yeah.
But I mean, throughout the video, he seems very sincere. He's trying to explain everything.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the rest of his page. That's not his genre.
Deal.
That's not his deal. Like it's all like just kind of, you know, in the life of just regular,
Mm-hmm.
you know, almost like Instagram kind of stuff, where it's just like updates on like what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's a contractor. And what this video has me thinking about are like the particular occupations that people are working in and report experiencing unexplainable.
Yeah, I'm wondering who gets the
Phenomenons.
most reports.
So he was like what kind of contractor? Like
He was just a general contractor.
like a general contractor
Yeah.
for you know, homes, like renovating damaged homes, it seems like. I've also heard from realtors.
Realtors would make sense.
Because you're in an empty house, especially if it's an old house.
Yeah.
So you got some realtors out there kind of sharing their stories. Night shift workers.
Night shift, yeah, but where?
Security. Oh, night shift everywhere.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking
Hospitals.
I was thinking hospitals.
Both medical and psychiatric.
Yeah.
And then even just night shift workers, like, you know, I don't know, like at shops and stuff.
Okay.
You know, commercial buildings, security guards. I've heard directly from police officers.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you know, some healthcare workers, doctors, surgeons. And so what's interesting is that you start hearing people's stories from like across demographics.
Yes.
You know, across like education and experience and background, and that's where things start getting like really interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's fascinating. I mean, I think the idea is that like, where do you see this the most often? Sure, but I mean, a lot of times it's those places that are empty, quiet, night, like, and it makes sense because there you are. You're kind of set up in a place or space that is already kind of fear-based.
Yeah.
Now, if you believe
but unless
in the
that's
paranormal,
it, unless you don't, you know, and that's just you're just doing your whatever job. You don't give a shit. You're just trying to like make a paycheck. Especially if you're like a doctor or something like that.
Now, if you don't
like
have
that
any
might not be-
proclivity for it, if you don't believe in any of those things, would you then, are you more likely to hear it or not? And then we talk about receptivity to other things that may be real or not, or the unexplainable.
And let's say it's all no.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. They don't have a proclivity for it. And yet they're still experiencing things that they cannot explain.
Yeah, see, that's always, those are the people that I'm always in.
Those are the people I want to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So if you were one of those people, please get a hold of us. If you've experienced something and you're a skeptic and you're like, no, these don't exist, except I can't explain this thing.
Except this happened to me. I can't freaking explain it. And it's obnoxious.
Come and find us.
Freaking terrifying.
All right. So from eerie homes to the terrifying world of sleep paralysis. The next story introduces one of the most chilling figures people worldwide report seeing, the Hat Man. What makes this clip powerful is how trauma, environment, and culture converge, leaving us with an experience that's as psychological as it is paranormal.
Have you heard of the Hat Man?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think we watched that movie.
Of course. No, that was Babadook.
Oh, he was wearing a hat and he was a man.
Yeah, but it was a thing.
It was a thing.
It was a thing. It's not really Babadook is a Babadook. All right.
So different from the Hat Man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Since we talking paranormal activities taking place in the hood, I want to share my experience. I grew up going to my grandmother and grandfather's house on 63rd and Kenwood, just to give you some context. So not super hood, but not super safe, semi-hood. It was a little bit rougher back in the day before the gentrification started taking place on that block specifically. So yeah, and also my grandfather was a struggling addict, so there were moments when he would with strangers while my dad was asleep, and I didn't know until I put two and two together as I got older. He would be like, do not come out this room for the rest of the night, go use the bathroom now. Yeah, that happened a few times in my childhood. Mind you, this apartment we all stayed in, it always had an eerie vibe to me. And I thought it was just because, you know, on the weekdays I would spend times with my mom. I would live with my mom and my grandma in the suburbs. So going from that contrast from a suburban lifestyle to a city semi-hood lifestyle would just be like, okay, this is different, but it just felt off. And it never felt off when we moved out of that apartment. I know now that motherfucker was haunted. And like, I had my first paranormal experience there, and it was very scary. So I'll fall asleep, I wake up, mind you, there's no cable. There's only satellite television. You know, there's only about 7 channels. So I usually go to sleep with the TV on. I wake up, the TV is on like channel 32.1, and it's just a black screen. There's no signal for some reason. Also, I cannot move. I now know that this is sleep paralysis. And it's not my last time having sleep paralysis, but it's my first. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm 7 years old, I can't move. And the room is a tinted red. I kid you not, the room was a tinted red. I thought I died and went to hell. And I can't move, I can't scream, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
A man opens the door, and it's the handman, not the handman child. The tall man with the hat man. Yeah, I seen him, motherfucker. He had no eyes, no face, but he was there, clear as day. And I be scared to tell people this story because people think I'm crazy, but I kid you not. After that, I could not sleep in that room by myself anymore. My little sister had to sleep in the room with me. I used to sleep in my room with my dad and my stepmom. I used to be like, I'm going somewhere else. Like, I used to skip out on weekends with my dad for like a good, consistent time as a kid, and I was too scared to tell anybody because it was so traumatizing. And I don't know, like, my grandfather bringing all those different types of energies into that apartment. Who knows what spiritual attachment were with these strangers he was doing DRUGS with. He could have been having some spirits following him. You just never know. But yeah, that's something I would love to see. Like, I would love to see another horror movie taking place in the hood, because the hood is a hub for trapped spirits. It's a hub for negative energy sometimes. It's just a hub for spiritual activity to take place. And I don't want to sound like one of them moon crystal bitches, but it's definitely some spiritual works in a place with a lot of these games and stuff.
Right?
Okay.
I have my list of thoughts. I was taking notes because he had a lot to say. He had a lot to contribute.
He did.
And that was from at
Dupree the artist?
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Yeah. And I think the thing that I like about that is like, first experience in sleep paralysis is very bizarre.
Yeah.
Right? Sleep paralysis.
Have you experienced that?
No.
I have. And the timing of it was fucked up. I'll tell the story later.
Okay, cool. All right, you can leave it there. But I think sleep paralysis in and of itself as a 7-year-old is really terrifying. I think the thing is the circumstances you're in are kind of like feeling like negative and painful and fearful and all these different things. Like if you're gonna have a terror, night terror, things like that, you're kind of like priming yourself for those things anyway.
Yeah.
And then to feel like eerie throughout this like place all the time. And I always wonder about that. When people feel that eerie kind of presence or something just feels off all the time in a particular place or space, I wonder what intuition that is for people, because a lot of times they're right. Something happened there. Something else is not okay there.
Yeah.
But I don't know where that comes from.
And I always wonder, and I noted that part, and I appreciate the creator kind of trying to like differentiate between like this new space feels eerie to me, but is it feeling eerie vibes just because it's different than what I'm used to, you know? Or is it because there is like legitimate reason for it to be eerie, or regardless of it being different, the environment itself is, I don't know, disheveled or dark or, you know, neglected. like yes, that environment, if the environment was like cleaned up and well lit and all that stuff, would it still feel eerie? Like what's contributing to this experience?
And he talked about kind of like some of the aspects of the hood where you feel like there's a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, a lot of violence, how that would then affect what kind of would show up in a given place or space.
Yeah.
And he brought up like movies and other things like that. Candyman's a great one.
Yeah.
See Candyman if you haven't seen it. It's a really wonderful one. There's a couple other ones that are in a little more urban environment where you can see like there is some, it's great.
And that's what I appreciate about this creator as well, is that like whenever we think about like paranormal experiences, a lot of people kind of refer to like basically white people who are making these types of claims. You know, and really if we all just start talking about the odd or unexplainable experiences that we had, you will see more diversity, and you're starting to see more diversity in these experiences. The paranormal or those unusual experiences that people are concluding to be paranormal isn't just a white experience.
And he didn't like explain. I mean, he didn't try to like. He went through what he experienced. Period. He didn't talk about whether believes in it, not believe in it. It was his experience. He didn't sit around and be like.
He identified it as the Hat Man.
Yeah. But like
he put a name. He put a name to what he experienced.
Yeah, but saw. I mean, he didn't sit around and be like, the Hat Man is a real character, or is a real thing that blah blah. He was like, no, this is exactly what I experienced. This is what it looked like. This is what it was. Yeah. There you are. It wasn't sitting around going, well, I believe in this stuff or not believe it. No, this is my experience.
Yeah.
Period.
And what I'm wondering is, I like you mentioned, and like the creator mentioned, you know, he was exposed to drugs in the home at a young age, strangers coming in with drug use in the home. And so I'm wondering, is there some trauma there that's contributing to his experiences?
Yeah, that's my immediate fear too.
Yes. Just like my past client patient that I had worked with. And then particularly because he was experiencing that sleep paralysis, you may feel like you're awake, but you're not sure but you may not actually be awake.
Yeah.
And so you might still be asleep and very lucid and having like weird experiences.
True.
And then even if you are awake and you're saying like, no, I am awake and I'm seeing this thing, I'm also wondering, you identified the strangers coming in and out of the home.
Yeah.
Was this just a stranger and it's dark at night, dark shadows, you can't see their eyes or face?
Yeah. May have been wearing a hat.
Or were they wearing a mask?
Or a hat.
I don't know. Yeah. And I'm sure that these are all the questions that this person has been like wondering.
As a 7-year-old, how do you
since 7?
Yeah.
And this person looks like into their 20s now. Yeah. Still their mind is still, it's not only fresh in their memory, but still trying to like understand it and come to terms with it.
Well, what's interesting, like our brains kind of like sear the most intense moments into our brain. Like, doesn't mean you remember it accurately, just you remember the feeling.
Yeah.
And so like if it's the worst fear you've ever had, if it's the worst guilt, the loss, happiness, I mean, that's why people, for example, chase the first time they've ever used, because they can't achieve that same level of high in which they felt that first time.
Right.
Like a lot of times that's where we chase that moment, because that's what our brain goes, whoa. And so it's interesting that like it seems like that first moment for him is something that he's continued to think about.
Yeah.
There on after.
Yeah. And that's just very natural for us to do, as humans.
All right.
Okay, so let's come up for air with a story that shifts the tone from terror to coexistence. What happens when you treat a ghost like a noisy roommate? This creator's approach shows us that fear isn't always about panic. It can also be about setting healthy boundaries with the unseen.
Oh, I think I know this one.
So it's a ghost in my apartment. It's been a ghost. I've been to it. I felt it the day I moved in this bitch. But the energy not malignant. So I don't bother him, he don't bother me type shit. We coexist. That's the homie. He the roommate. Last night he bothered me. So I put him in punishment. Right. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up to hear all this bumping, thumping, stomping, and motherfucking moving. So I wakes up. I'm like, hey, bro. Usually I let you do your thing. It's 3 in the morning. You're making too much noise. Go get in the fucking corner. I immediately stopped hearing the noise. And I have not heard noise since. I wakes up to go to the bathroom. This motherfucker was playing in the trash. My trash can is in the middle of the motherfucking floor. If you know me, you know I didn't do it. I'm clumsy. That shit sit right in a corner out of my footpath. I said, my nigga, you tried to trip me? Cool, you ain't coming out that corner for the day. I'm irked. He playing too much. I don't got time. He getting too comfortable.
Isn't that a great take on it?
Yes. Yes, it is. I love that.
Which is interesting because, again, there's different cultural beliefs on whether or not you even acknowledge
Yeah.
that something unexplainable or odd is happening.
Yeah.
And so that's to some cultures, talking to it and acknowledging it is risky in it of itself. And yet this creator seems to have found something that generally works for them
Yeah.
in their space.
Bring it. They said
Right.
bring it. They just said bring it. Like, okay, I'm gonna talk to you like a roommate,
Mhm.
and we're gonna chat about this. And there's gonna be boundaries. I like the boundaries.
Right.
There's behaviors that you're not gonna settle for. No, I like it. I appreciate that. I mean, again, like, what's gonna happen? Like, by diving in something that's not fearful,
Mhm.
you're gonna feel like we have more agency. You're gonna feel more powerful,
Yeah.
even if there's no ghost. It's still something that allows you to feel like you're not bothered by something versus what is.
I mean, when you're having objects like moved and you live alone,
Yeah.
again, rule out that there's no one else in your home or breaking into your home
Yeah.
or messing with you.
Or rodents.
Yeah.
Rodents.
Yeah.
Don't do rodents.
Trash pandas.
Trash pandas.
Mm-hmm. That's what scared me in the mountains.
Yeah.
Those freaking raccoons at 3
Raccoons
a.m.
at 3 a.m. Yeah.
Thank God there are
2:43
raccoons
2:43 a.m.
Oh,
That's what they
assholes.
like, showing up at 2:43 a.m.
at witching hour.
Yeah.
And this is another creator too, where it's like, I felt it since I moved in.
Mm-hmm.
I felt this
Yeah.
kind of like energy, and then it's always I'm always so curious about like what are the factors that go into that.
Yeah.
If the environment was different, or if your mood or state or how you were feeling or whatever was different, would that have changed things for you? And we'll never know.
Never know.
I mean, we do renovations and we kind of update places, and it feels a lot better for people
Yeah.
when we do that through our wellness design. But I mean, like that first experience is,
Yeah.
there's only so much you could control there.
Yeah. It's about that's about like also then bringing yourself to a space so that it doesn't feel as if it's been co-opted by something else.
Yeah. So it feels more familiar and
Yeah.
homey to you. That's
Yeah,
important
exactly.
as well.
So we close this lineup with a story that feels straight out of a horror film. A hospital worker called by a coworker who shouldn't even be there voices apparitions and the sudden realization that the familiar has turned impossible. This clip leaves us with a lingering question: what happens when the people we trust the most appear where they can't be? So check this out.
What happens is you piss your pants.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of this one.
It's just what happens.
Okay.
No judgment.
You guys are not gonna believe what fucking happened this morning. Holy shit. So I work at a hospital, right? And I'm here at 2:30 in the morning. And it's me and another lady that are always here at 2:30 in the morning. So I'm doing my regular thing. So I'm breaking down the boxes. I'm getting everything ready before everybody comes into work. While I'm doing all this, mind you, I'm really sleepy. I am dead tired. I am just like, oh, I want to go to bed. I'm so tired. So I'm setting everything up. And then I hear my coworker. She's a sweet little lady, right? She says my name. She's like, Jerry, ¿me puedes ayudar aquí, mijo? Like, mind you, in English, it's like, hey, can you come over here and help me? Like, it's really hard. So then I was like, yeah, I'll be there right now. But, like, I was tripping out because, like, I hear her voice down the hall where the dish machine's at. And I was like, what are you doing over there? I'm only tripping out because, like, I never see her over there. So I'm just like, oh, maybe she want to go get something, right? And so before I go, I tell her, like, hold on, I'm getting this finished. And she keeps calling me and asking me to come and help her. And I was like, why is she being so hesitant? Why is she being so hesitant? So mind you, I am walking to where I hear her. And then I have this sudden memory of like, wait, she's on vacation. So I stopped halfway going to the dish machine. I was like, oh, no. So I ignored it. I was like, maybe it's just in my head. Maybe. And never mind. Let me just continue what I was doing, right? And then I go into this office where I had to get the keys to open up all the the locks and all the fridges and everything. So I go and grab the keys. From the corner of my eye,
Every time.
I see a lady standing by the fucking door, and she was just staring at me. And I was just frozen, just holding the keys, looking down, telling myself, like, well, this is it. This is it. Like, I don't know what's going on, but this is it. Holy shit. And then, like, I just closed my eyes, took a deep breath, turned. There was nothing there. And I was like, oh, God. That was scary. But if anything like that has ever happened to you guys, please comment. Talk to me about it. I want to know. I want to see if I'm not the only crazy one here. All right, thanks, guys. Later.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. That's ridiculous. That's rough.
Oh boy.
So not only is this person not there that you're hearing, which I mean could be your sense memory or something else, like remembering a time in which you're doing that, but like not multiple times and not in a place that it shouldn't be. That's kind of odd.
And that's the thing. There's this distinction that I'm not saying this person is experiencing hallucinations, but for those who are, there's a distinction that we make is like, are you hearing, are the voices that you're experiencing or hearing, are they like inside your own mind, or are you hearing them like outside of you, outside of your mind? And in this case, it's not just a thought or a memory that he's having of this person. It sounds like no, I'm hearing this voice
from a specific location,
from a very specific location.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it seemed like that person's or the voice's positioning was different than how they would usually be.
Yeah.
And so it's not even like a recall of a memory that he has of this person or something usual or familiar with this person.
They were questioning it.
Right. But it was something like unusual about it. What is the cryptic that mimics voices?
Cryptid?
Cryptid?
Cryptid. All right, so the mimic, there's a couple of different types of mimic. There are things that people are familiarly calling skinwalkers. That is not exactly what that necessarily is, but there are lots of mimics out there. There are lots of things that mimic. There are a lot of different stories of things that mimic that people believe in. People have been familiarly calling some of these skinwalkers that I feel like has a different connotation. Like there's things from indigenous folks that like are tied to the idea of that, and they don't really go into that detail, and they're an oral history, not necessarily a written history as much. So like it's passed verbally, so they don't even speak the name. And so like there's a lot of really cool things around that history and story. I do not know if that's mimicking that is the same thing, but familiarly, you look at Appalachia TikTok, they're going to talk about skinwalkers and mimics.
That's what it reminded me of, is that when people are talking about the Appalachian Mountains, they're like, don't whistle at night in the forest or in the mountains. And then if you hear someone call your name, no, they didn't. And then in more severe cases, people would say or warn others about, like, if there's someone who's even familiar to you, looks like them, sounds like them, approaching your window or your door trying to get in, that's not them.
Yeah, at night, and then they're staring at you, and especially if they're telling you to come outside or something like that, don't do it. It's there's a lot of stories like that. There's a lot of creators who make creative content, fictional content around that, which is also really great. But so there's a lot of stories around mimics and mimicking and pretending to be like, to try and lure you in some way, shape, or form.
And so I don't know if this person is familiar with those, we would call it like legends or
folklore stories, urban legends.
But it seemed familiar to me, that experience, and it happened around 2:30 a.m. of course, which is where everyone kind of like reports these things happening around like 2 or 3. And there is some kind of like psychological aspect to that, is that like if we have something set in our mind, then we kind of look out for it more around that time. But then the argument could be like, hey, I had this experience, I looked at the clock, that was the time.
That was the time. The time is the time.
And then the double counter argument to that is that like your brain can get so fixated on habits. That even your sleep could be interrupted at a certain time, because when you wake up, you look at the clock, you're almost programming your mind to
imprinting,
to wake up at that certain time. And so that's the interesting part, though. And then when he was talking, I was like, well, what if she just wasn't on vacation anymore?
Yeah, poor ladies, they're doing a different job.
I know, she's just like trying to.
She's not on vacation.
My flight got canceled, dude. Come help me. What the fuck?
That could be a thing,
dude. But the corner of the eye. Oh,
yeah. When you see something out of the corner of your eye, that's also interesting because like that's also it's different aspect of the peripheral vision is a different aspect of like kind of cognition and thought and other things and perception.
Even just
so if you're looking at stuff over here, right, like in the corner of your eye, like there's a lot of ways in which your brain is actually filling in gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain kind of like processes there's stuff over here that makes sense that it would be there. And so it fills in some gaps.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it fills in gaps with real things or sometimes something a little more creative.
Yeah. And I mean, I think maybe we've all been there where we thought we saw something and then we like looked at it or turned on the lights and then realized I terrified myself when we had that coat hanger thing.
Oh yeah, you hated the coat hanger.
Because I would put my coats on it and then I'd always take off my baseball cap and put it on top of the coat.
If you ever would want to see Alexis jump, just leave a coat hanger.
It was right by the door.
Just leave a coat hanger.
Some mirrors.
She's terrified of coat hangers.
Down a dark hallway.
Coat hangers.
There's a hat and then like a coat.
Hat racks.
Idiot.
Hat racks. You put an umbrella on it and a hat. She'll jump like
I dress it up throughout the day and then by night
it scares the crap out of her. It's pretty funny. It's pretty entertaining. So if you ever want to terrify Alexis,
don't. No, I'm not inviting this.
Okay, fine.
Not inviting. I'm not inviting pranks or any kind of like unnecessary experiences.
Fair enough. Well,
I just want to hear your experiences.
Also fair.
Yeah.
So fear doesn't just rattle the mind; it affects the body, our environment, and the way we interpret reality. Here's how you can approach unexplainable fear in 6 healthier, safer ways.
I gotcha.
You got me?
We're gonna do a mixed match. I'll do some and then you do some.
All right, cool.
Okay, out of these 6. But I need you to just sit up.
Okay.
And be
I was
alert.
leaning into you.
No, sit up, sit up, be alert. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So step number 1, protect your mind and your memory. So our psychological recommendation is that ambiguity magnifies fear because the brain is going to try to fill in those missing details. And so journaling the event soon after it happens, dude, if you could start recording while it's happening, even better. It's going to help you separate what was experienced from what might later be contaminated by other kind of input or conclusions that you might be coming up or that other people are telling you. And so this is going to reduce memory distortion and grounds the story in observable facts.
Nice.
And so when we experience these types of things, just in general, even when we're in conflict or whatever, I always encourage people to just stick to the facts of what's happening.
Yes.
Be as descriptive as possible. And instead of saying words like he was angry, tell me, like, what was it about this person that is...
How did you perceive it as anger?
Yes. Be more specific, like furrowed brow, clenched fists,
shouting,
lunging towards you. Yeah. Raised voice, like get the facts down of what you're experiencing.
Yes.
Trash moved,
yeah,
like
exactly.
This many feet. And that's going to really help the memory aspect of it, particularly when your stress is heightened and fear is heightened.
Perfect. Well, next, you want to safeguard your body. So medical recommendations, always rule out medical explanations for frightening or confusing experiences. Many symptoms people interpret as paranormal, hearing voices, feeling touched, sudden dizziness, or waking unable to move can also be linked to medical conditions like sleep paralysis, hypnagogic.
You're doing way better than I would.
Hypnagogic hallucinations. It's one of the ones I never deal with. Hypnagogic hallucinations, seizures, migraines, inner ear disturbances, or even blood sugar fluctuations. Also, urinary tract infections.
Yeah.
Especially for the elderly. Before labeling an experience as supernatural, it's essential to check with a healthcare provider to make sure it's not your body signaling a medical issue.
Please. Even before we jump to psychological, we rule out medical conditions.
Yes.
We do not want to jump to these types of conclusions. Rule out medical, and then let's also rule out environmental.
Ooh, tell me
Okay.
about it.
Secure your space. And so the environmental recommendation, if events repeatedly unsettle you, rule out natural or even just the first occurrence. Rule out natural causes before concluding to any kind of like paranormal or alien or any other kind of like reason. Check your door seals, electrical wiring, carbon monoxide levels, or smart tech glitches.
True.
Many hauntings or what are the alien words called? Abductions.
Abductions, yeah.
Overlap with safety hazards. Okay,
True.
so medical check, environmental check. So you're doing like your safety check. Then let's check your mental health as well.
Yeah.
You know, some of these experiences can even be like brain tumors. You know, it's just
Well, and then I mean, you have to keep into around your cultural context, right?
Yeah.
So you have to keep this into the forefront of your mind. So fear is interpreted through personal and cultural frameworks. Some communities frame unexplained events as spiritual visitations, others as warnings, others as sign of imbalance. Validating these perspectives can reduce shame or stigma about sharing them. So what's your belief system? Make sure you understand it. Make sure you know it. You know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Did this experience then align to that idea or not? Where else is those things coming from for you?
Yeah. And then I find that in some of my experiences too, my default, because of the way I was raised, Catholic, went to spiritual explanations for the ambiguity that I was experiencing. And then as I started to just focus on the facts of it and then just approach it more with curiosity, it's like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel this type of certain way. So
yeah.
Keep those in mind as you're out there experiencing and processing things. Where some of those conclusions that you might be coming up with are coming from, because we want to make sure that you're also not limited just to that as well.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely true.
And then set safe boundaries with fear. I have pretty hardcore boundaries with this kind of stuff. Don't engage with spiritual, cultural, or even like technological items that you don't really understand, including like Ouija boards or some of those like paranormal tools that you could now buy on Amazon.
Yes.
Unless you've prepared for even just a psychological weight that could follow.
Yeah.
Given playing
just
with these
open
things.
That door and like kind of what you see or experience.
Even if we just mean mentally opening the door.
Exactly.
Even if nothing paranormal or alien or cryptic happens, the suggestion alone can reinforce anxiety and obsession.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So you want to be careful with that.
And another big piece is you want to reframe the experience. Okay.
Yeah.
So shift from why me to what can I learn? What did I notice? What do I learn? What can I take away from this? Whether it's stress management, home safety checks, or exploring cultural identity, unexplained experiences can serve as a catalyst for growth and connection. So take it, utilize it, and kind of go, what can I learn from this experience? And see what you do with it.
And you notice from like a lot of the creators, they ended their videos with like, if this has happened to you, like leave it in my comment, like tell me, because I don't want to feel alone, or I don't want to feel crazy. Or
a lot of them like sought not just validation, but like a supportive community.
Yeah. And so now with social media, people are starting to utilize it for that purpose. And fear becomes more manageable when we treat it as a signal instead of a verdict.
Yeah.
So by combining psychological grounding, medical and environmental checks, and cultural respect, we can stay curious without letting fear take the wheel.
That's great.
Right?
Yeah. So we've got something interesting in the works.
Woo! Oh, wait. Let me use one of my buttons.
Do you want to say that again?
Wait, let me just do this. I'm using the air word.
Okay. All right. I don't know what you're doing.
We have an announcement. I feel like a DJ. It's so cool. Okay, go ahead.
We've got something interesting in the works. We need your firsthand accounts of unexplainable, scary, confusing experiences for a television show we're developing.
Woo! So if you've had an experience that still haunts you or just makes you go, what the hell was that? We want to hear from you. DM us at Wit and Reason, or you can even email us at info@witandreason.com with the subject line unexplained. So that way you can join us and share your story on our show.
And starting October 1st, we're doing 31 days of fear. Every day we'll share real stories of unexplainable experiences across our YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Plus, every Tuesday in October, our live stream DC Radio mental health talk show will dive deep into the science of fear with interviews from people who've lived through it.
Yep, I told you we're going to be diving more into this. So don't sit this one out. If you've got a story, we want to give you a voice, because here's the thing. When you share your experience with us, you're not just telling a spooky tale. You're validating that what you went through matters, and you're helping others who have had similar experiences feel less alone or crazy.
Fear, confusion, and the unexplainable can be incredibly isolating. By speaking out loud, you take control of the narrative instead of letting it haunt you in silence.
We believe that sharing these moments can transform private fear into collective insight. Our platform lets your voice spark curiosity, empathy, and even laughter in the face of the unknown. And in doing so, you remind others that they too can talk about the things that unsettled them without shame or dismissal.
So if you've got a story, join us. Let's explore it together. Let's normalize the mystery, and let's make October a month where your fear isn't just heard, it's understood.
Let me do the air horn again. Thank you all for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you again next Tuesday talking about more therapy or trash.
More therapy
health
or
concepts.
trash.
Overall, I think all of these videos were like therapeutic. Unless any of the creators were like just fucking with us and not telling us.
Sure.
There should always be a disclaimer like, I'm just telling you a story, or that was
But
a
they
prank.
seemed all genuine and honest.
Yeah.
And then they were putting out messages in which they care. So therapy.
All therapeutic.